People describe things the friends and family thought were perfectly normal, but aren't. My sister's ex-husband thought the moon was the sun but in night mode, so it's dimmer. The man was 43 years old. Senior year, study hall. I'm sitting with a dude I knew. I don't remember the context, but we were talking about growing up and he says, and it was around that time when milk started coming out of my nipples, and I'm like, what? And he's like, you know, when milk starts to come out, and I'm like, dude. That's not normal. The face he made when he realized the reality of the situation was memorable. I was in high school when I found out my mom believed the night sky was some sort of veil with light behind it and the stars were holes poked through. Not kidding. My boyfriend of almost 8 years thought lions were boys and tigers were girl lions, kind of like bulls and cows. People describe the strangest house rules they've seen in other people's homes. My friend's parents had surveillance cameras in every room, including the kids' bedrooms. Anytime we were in a room without a parent, the surveillance camera had to be on. There were many times I'd walk into the kitchen after being in the game room or my friend's bedroom and see the TV on, streaming surveillance from the room I was just in. It even streamed sound. If one of us said something the parents didn't like while the cameras were on, they never told us when they were turned on. A parent would burst into the room and yell at us for saying something they didn't like. A friend of mine got kicked out of the house because he jokingly put a napkin over one of the cameras. I was probably 10 or 11 and stayed overnight for the first time with a friend of mine. Her family seemed normal, we had fun. I got up the next morning and all four were in the kitchen, at the table, eating cereal together. Her mom gets up and prepares a bowl for me, which was super nice of her. I eat it, then try to be nice in return and pour my leftover milk down the sink. Her mom stops me and hands me a partially full gallon jug and says, "No need to waste. Pour it in the cereal milk jug." I vividly recall how nauseated I was when I realized the milk I had just consumed was recycled. Never went back. I had a good friend whose family didn't drink anything while eating meals. They were convinced drinking something right after chewing food would crack the teeth. I'm a medic, so we go into people's homes every day. We had a cardiac arrest, so we were working a man, and the wife was having a fit about the mess we were making. Yes, there was some garbage from the pads, needles, and meds, but we put all of it into our junk bag. She was screaming at us about it. I told her that her husband was very sick and we were doing everything we could to help. She said she didn't care if he died as long as we didn't make a mess. People confess their unbelievable secrets that no one knows about. It's a shoebox, or at least once was, and whenever I masturbate I see *M into it. I've had it for 2 or 3 years now, so it has a fair amount. It smells atrocious, and I tried to burn it once. When I lit it on fire, it was too damp, so it simply sizzled and didn't manage to actually light up. Turns out burning *M smells awful, so I had to spray it with a deodorant body spray just to get the old smell away. It also has some drenched papers stuck to it. That's pretty much it. So, I've always been fat, always had a gut. Anyways, late at night when everyone was asleep, I would pretend as though I was being kept hostage by men who hate fat girls. I would find belts and strings and would tighten them up as far as they could around my fatness, creating rolls much like a roast. I would use items that would grab and close on the fat rolls and keep it there. I would imagine myself being treated like someone's swine. I don't know why I did this. I have memories of my sister, 5 years older, and I playing a role-play game when I was younger that I think would be considered sexual abuse, molestation if I told anyone. I don't remember how old we were, but I know she was around the age where her breasts were developing. When home alone we would play a role-play game where she was a boss and I was a secretary, and the boss would always harass the secretary. It ended in my sucking on my sister's breasts while she would lie on the couch with her shirt off. My memory has always been really horrible, so I only remember patches of this. I don't actually trust my memory enough to feel confident that this really happened. I love my sister, she's my best friend, and I would never want to damage our relationship by ever bringing this up and asking her what really happened. It is a secret I will carry with me and never reveal.